Hi everyone, it's Fatigiwa Shares here. So last week I did something. I did something to make a change, a difference in somebody's life. And that small step that I took escalated and it was finally given the attention that it required. And this morning, when my daughter woke up today and she hugged me and she said to me, Mommy, you really, really did something that I am proud of. I was so happy to hear that coming from her. Now, here was what happened. For a very long time now, there's this particular classmate of my daughter, my 12-year-old, who has been a victim of bullying. And for most of the time, especially I think it became more aware, or I became more aware of the situation back when I was in Mindelo, and we were just talking over the phone because I talked extensively with my daughter even when I wasn't away. We have a lot of conversations. All these thanks to the coaching and the guidance from the inner circle community of the Intentional Parenting Academy. Shout out to Coach Wendy for always dishing out wisdom upon wisdom. Anyway, back to my story. Um, we've been talking over and over about this. I think there was actually we had a month that we talked about. I can't really remember, but it was extensively about bullying and stuff like that. So I used to have a lot of discussion with my 12-year-old, even my 5-year-old. I talked to them. We learned about, for me, it was even for the first time, bringing light to being a bystander in bullying and the impact or the effect, of being a bystander. And all of those things I educate my children for them to understand that even just being quiet when you see someone, being bullied is also you allowing it or you also enabling others to continue to do that. And so with that, my daughter always, she's always stood up for this particular girl and along with a few other classmates. But what made it so it continued. It continued to extend that there is no almost every day that my daughter comes back from school, she expresses her concern and she tells me what happened and in details. Why is it this particular girl? Why? And this is a brilliant girl. She's like really, really, really brilliant, smart girl. She's so brilliant that she's a year younger than them. She's youngest in the class. That's how brilliant she is. So I don't even understand why they would pick on this particular girl, only her. My daughter experiences it too, to be honest. She experienced a bit of it last year, which with my support and my, I was able to guide her through this, but I wasn't sure if that particular girl was getting, I wasn't even sure if she was telling her parents about it because from what my daughter was telling me, she's a very strong girl. She's very strong. Sometimes she tells me she cries. Sometimes she tells me she ignores them. So at some point I was like, this girl is strong. She's, probably has it under control. Maybe she's getting, some kind of, support at home and all of that. But then suddenly school resumed barely a week and it came up again. Meanwhile, during the holiday, I still went to see. When the school closed, as soon as I came back to Prior, I went to see the school director and all of that, and I expressed a lot of my concerns about some of the classmates of my daughter. So back to this issue on, just last week, she came home again and she was saying something. I could see that, and it was for me. I just couldn't take it anymore. Her mom is not someone that I'm, yes, we know each other quite well. She's also a Muslim. We don't have a large community here and all of that. We've met occasionally, we've had conversations, but we are not really so, how do I even put it? So I didn't know how it would come up, reaching out to her because this is a very sensitive topic, but I just couldn't stand by and watch this continue to happen again in barely a week after school just resumed. And I just made up my mind there and then. I picked up my phone, I called the mom, and I was like, you know what, I want us to meet because yes, I had a contact and all of that. And I was like, I want us to meet. I really want to talk about something regarding school and all of that. And then I made time. I didn't even, because I don't have a maid, I had to really push myself out there. I knew I had to see her. She had a very tight schedule. I had a very tight schedule. I just had to talk to the mom. And we had this almost over an hour conversation where I shared some of, and I was so happy that she also expressed to me that her daughter had actually told her that my daughter was one of those who always stood up for her. And I was happy to hear that at least, I was doing my own part, but I felt like still it wasn't working. So we had this whole discussion where I'm like, you can't keep quiet about it, just talking to her. There's certain things she needs to go through. She's going to have to need therapy at some point in her life if this has to continue. And you, as a parent, you have to be able to show her that you hear her, you see her, and you're ready to do everything in your ability to stop this or put an end to it, while also putting her through ways at which she can also fight this battle on her own. Because let's be honest, as parents, we won't always be there for these children, but we have to be able to guide them and help them to be able to navigate how they can fight these battles by themselves. And after the conversation, we had an extensive conversation. We didn't stop at just, the bullying. We talked about so many things. At the end of this conversation, she was happy, you know, and she felt like she had someone to, to hold her hands and walk her through that process. And I was happy that immediately she got home, she took action. She spoke to her husband about it. She sent an email, called for a meeting, and they showed up for the first time with her husband to meet with the school director and the teacher. When you show up with your husband for something, you know that the school, we know that this thing has reached another level. Most times, especially for those of us that are always the ones, the mothers are always showing up. When here you show up, when the father shows up, they know that this has gone to another level. And this has been going on for long, from what the mom told me. She said it has been going on for long, way beyond before my daughter even joined the school. And she has been complaining, and she has been doing this, and she has been doing that. But somehow, maybe on a kind of a, they've been doing managing it on a very low level. But never ever has it been escalated up to this point. And right after the meeting, I saw her message. She sent me this beautiful message. She was praying. She called me and, appreciating all that I, the encouragement that I gave her, because the school has now taken drastic, more severe action. And that happened last week. So today I woke up to the email. No, sorry, over the weekend I woke up to the email from the school addressed to my daughter's classmates about serious measures that will be against bullying and all of that. And then this morning I woke up to the platform of the group of moms and parents, the group where the group chat of parents blowing up, where parents are all talking about this thing, and we're all showing our support against this, because it is not a battle that only one person. It can only start when we start having this conversation with our children. We do not want to joke with our children's mental health, as they say they are children, but at the same time they are human beings and they have feelings, and there's a level to what children can take. And I was so happy when I saw this conversation coming up. This is what the difference that one voice can make in the life of others. And I am sure that there are other people that will also benefit from this new level of advocacy that has just started. Now, this morning, this was the best part of it all. This morning, when my daughter woke up and I asked, I don't even remember what we were talking about, and she said, "Oh, mommy, I forgot to mention this to you. This particular girl came and thanked me. She hugged me, and she also said you should thank your mommy for me, because I got emotional. I got so emotional listening to my daughter hear that girl. That is just the impact. Why am I sharing this? Sometimes we expect, yeah, bullying happens in school. Yeah, our children are supposed to be able to, yeah, we should educate our children to, but still, if you as a parent hear such a thing happening with another child, let's do something because we can make a change. I can't believe that we're still talking about this in 2025. We always, it's every part of this world we're fighting against bullying. We see the impact. We see it on social media. What is happening to some children? What is happening? We read the sad news. May this never happen to any one of our children. But all I'm trying to encourage us is let's teach our children to be empathetic. Let's teach our children to be kind to one another. Let's not just be materialistic in what we are teaching our children and and paying school fees and that's all. Let's be more involved in our children's life. Hear them, listen to them, pay attention to them. Because you don't know, you could be saving the life of someone without even knowing it. So please, parents, friends, family, sisters, brothers, uncles, aunties, if you're hearing something is happening to someone, you don't even have to know them directly. Speak up. Speak up for that person. You could go to the school and address the issue on your own and say, look, this is what is happening. But still, it can never be coming directly from the parent. Just try to do something. For me, bullying is a very personal thing for me. I experienced a fair share of it growing up in primary school, and it just never goes away. So I encourage us, so please, let's try to do better. Let's educate our children. Every one of us is unique and different in his own way. We can be kind to another, and it costs us nothing. Hurting another person, it's even more painful for you to see someone suffering. Let's try to do our best as parents. This is all I'm calling out. And I hope that my message resonates with someone, and I hope that it makes a change in another person's life or in other people's life. Thank you so much. So have a lovely week. Bye bye.